Hi, my name's Ilma and welcome to my channel. I've been posting Christian blogs 11 straight years every day. Today I'd like to share Genesis 18 verses 16 to 21. Here's the word of God. Then the men set out from there, and they looked down towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to set them on their way. The Lord said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am about to do? Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have chosen him that he may command his children and his household after him to keep the way of the Lord by doing righteousness and justice, so that the Lord may bring to Abraham what he has promised him." Then the Lord said, "Because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and their sin is very grave, I will go down to see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry that has come to me, and if not, I will know." Genesis 18:16 to 21. And here's the poem I wrote inspired by those verses. God's contemplation, what to do with Sodom and Gomorrah. After the visit of God and the two men at Abraham's tent, they left proceeding to Sodom, and Abraham went with them. While traveling, God contemplated whether to share his plan. He knew that Abraham was to become father of many nations. The Lord was weighing whether sharing this with him was beneficial. He wants Abraham to know the faith of the surrounding cities. God considers Abraham as a friend who is wise to understand. He generously gave Abraham wisdom so he can rule righteously. And here's my essay. Isn't it interesting how God was contemplating whether to share with Abraham his plans for Sodom and Gomorrah? Excuse me. Sorry, there's a tickle. Surely God knows how to deal with these sin cities. But it is another glimpse of God's character. He shares and communicates his plans with all those who continue to believe and trust in him. He considered Abraham as a friend who he can be privy to. Besides, these cities were neighboring places of the promised land to Abraham and his descendants. Since Abraham will be father of many nations, he wanted to show him his dominion over these areas and what happens to those who defy the Lord. Reflection. Who are God's friends and why are they considered his friends? And how can you develop deep friendship with the Lord himself? There are many references in the Bible about being friends of God. In James 2:23, it says that Abraham believed God and it was counted to him as righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. So, in other words, those who believed in God, it becomes righteousness for them, and then they become automatically friends of God. In John 15:15 it says, "No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing, but I have called you friends, for all that I have heard from my Father I have made known to you." So in other words, excuse me, is if you are able to know his word and that you've heard the truth, then you believe and you are a servant. You're no longer a servant of God, but you are his friend already. And then in John 15:14 it says, "You are my friends if you do what I command you." So those who obey the laws of the Lord are friends of God. And John 15:13, it says, greater love has no one than this, that someone laid down his life for his friends. So if you lay down your life for your friends who are also serving God, then you are a friend of God. And then in James 4, it says, you adulterous people, James 4:4, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend of the world, make himself an enemy of God. So now we know that you become an enemy of God if you are following the ways of the world. So if you follow the righteousness of God, His ways, His truth, His commands, then you are a friend of God. Now, how can you develop deep friendship with the Lord Himself? It also says in James that if you ask wisdom, He will give it to you generously without reproach. So if you are a friend of God, if you become more intimate with Him in terms of studying His Word, meditating on His Word, following it, and spreading love throughout and proclaiming His gospel, then you will develop a deep friendship with the Lord Himself. And He will show you a lot of things. Actually, we are also blessed that we are able to have a Bible with us where God has opened up all the truth that He wants us to hear and wants us to follow. And it's such a pity that so many people are not even following it or not even meditating on it or reading it at all. Thanks for watching. I hope you check my website at ILMA'S.com for artworks, photographs, and a copy of this blog. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube so I could make more videos and give you the Word of God. If you haven't already, please check over 3,000 videos I've done. Just type on Google or YouTube search ILMA'S Poem Devotional and you will find them. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day.